This is the Movie Theater Butter Podcast, where we talk about stories made into movies and what was modified for the big screen. As a warning, this episode will discuss the plot of both the movie and its original source material, so be ready for spoilers. I'm your host, Kim Labick, and I hope you enjoy the show. Let's go back 20 years to 2002. George Bush was the president. He had committed 9/11 just 1 year prior, and Avril Lavigne released her debut album, Let Go. America is in a vulnerable state, and what better way to chill things out than to adapt the saddest fucking Christmas song into a movie? And that's how we got The Christmas Shoes, based on the classic song of the same name, which by the way came out in 2000, which was before 9/11. Today we're joined by the love child of George R.R. Martin's world building and Stephen King's word count, my friend Jen, the host of the Bookstop podcast.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever had such an entrance that I think I want written on my tombstone.
Yeah? Amazing.
But hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. I'm super excited to talk about this movie with you guys. And Kim, of course, you're there, too.
Yeah, I'm around. This is going to be an interesting one. So, a brief bit of background on the film we're discussing today. It's, of course, based off of the saddest fucking Christmas song of the same name, which is actually also kind of an adaptation. So I tried to look into this. I've seen a couple of different articles, one that was more reputable than the others, shall I say. And apparently the Christmas Shoes song is based on an urban legend about like a boy who lacks the money to buy these new shoes for his dying mother. But like another article that wasn't exactly as reputable said that it was based on like some kind of short story. I don't know. So it's a little bit up in the air. I couldn't really find like the best source, but the one that says it's based on an urban legend, that came from today.com. So however much you trust today.com, this is the info we're going with.
Well, how much do you trust Wikipedia? Because I saw that it was also based off a novel.
Oh, okay. So, but here's the thing, right? I don't think it was based off the novel. I think the novel came out after.
It did.
Okay.
So the novel was kind of based off of the song, which was based off of a legend. You know, there's just so much history. There's just so much rich and diverse history with the Christmas Shoes.
Rich and diverse history. It's the same fucking Christmas movie that every fucking Christmas movie is. Except this one has like a poor kid, which, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's very Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens has a lot of poor kids in his movies. In his movies? His books. His plays. Whatever he writes. I'm cultured, I promise, guys. So, okay, we normally start the podcast with a favorite quote. I don't exactly have a favorite quote. I've been really fucking bad with my favorite quotes lately. But I will say, I think my favorite part of this movie that I was awake for would be just the ending, that little ending scene where he sees
Nathan?
What is basically the kid all grown up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like wearing a baseball hat that like is the same baseball hat. And Rob Lowe's got this nice little like, hey, nice hat moment that is just our very obvious way of being like, oh my God, it's the kid all grown up. Wow.
Yeah, I have a comment on that.
Yeah, go for it.
So I do really like that scene. I think that's probably the only thing I really liked about the movie, because it was a good callback. And it's a little bit cliche, I feel like, but what I didn't really understand is like, okay, so obviously this is a very small town. This all happens in. You only really get to see like so many people. And I feel like I just don't understand why Robert, the character's name is Robert, that's played by Lowe. I'm just confused why he didn't know that was Nathan. Like, I get that he went to school, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he looked over and didn't know it was him until he wiped off the snow from his mother's grave and was like, oh my gosh, Andrews, Nathan? And it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I just felt like he should have known that was him.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think in a more realistic sense, he definitely would have known because, like you're saying, it's such a small town, and yeah, everybody knows everybody, especially if you have that kind of like an interesting Christmas experience, something that like makes you believe in the spirit of Christmas again. I feel like you would keep track of people and be like, hope your mom passed nicely, or, you know, whatever you would say in that kind of a situation. At the same time, though, I'm going to defend that scene because I feel like that scene was the most, like, perfectly cliche scene.
Yeah,
of the
I
whole
do like
movie.
that scene. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, I think that this film, how do I even say this? I can't fully say this because, in all honesty, I fell asleep for most of the movie, and I did not have the motivation to go back and watch it again. But I did watch this as a kid, so I do kind of remember the vibes. Anyways, but I do want to say that I feel like this movie kind of balanced its, like, cliche cheesiness well, but I do think it could have been more cliche, more cheesy, and maybe this film would be more iconic. Does that make sense?
No, but...
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, here's the thing.
You keep me humble.
Like, it was cheesy, but it was just bad. Like, the directing was so bad. Like, the biggest thing that really got me the entire time, because I did stay awake the whole time.
Okay.
I know.
You know what? Honestly, though,
flex.
100% props for you. It's pretty bad that the host of this podcast, did not do that. So I apologize, listeners, but this is Jen. She's incredible. Go listen to her podcast instead.
I'm an overachiever at most.
Just pause this right where you are now. Exit. Type in the Bookstop podcast. Listen to that one.
Stop. No, but every scene, really, the scenes felt so short. They were at most like 2 minutes long, and it was so much jumping around that it felt so hard to keep track of. It's just like the scenes very much felt like, you know, you go here, the actors literally say exactly what they want to portray in that scene, and then they go to the next scene and do the same exact thing. Like it. So it
that
just
is kind of a movie.
No. Usually you have the setting the scene, you have, the relationship between characters, conversations between characters. But this is like, okay, so she's, sitting on the couch and she goes, "Oh, I danced." And then we shoot to the guy and he's like, I just want to buy a house. And then we shoot to the other guy and he's like, it's just very like short and like go. There was no time to really have a moment where we see the reflection of the character of like Robert's character, where he's, not even sad about his mother dying. First of all, we never see any feelings.
Yeah, he shows very, very little emotion, and 100% that is due to the direction, because we all know that Rob Lowe is a good actor, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you see an actor with a subpar performance or worse, you know that a lot of that is due to the direction.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, and I'm going to tag this in really randomly, but kind of like Twilight, right? Like Twilight, like good actors, terrible direction, and also just terrible characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's a totally different movie. We talked about that one already. Christmas Shoes.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I have a favorite quote. I know we kind of got sidetracked.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I have one from the movie and one from the song too.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
So hold on. Let me first by saying that.
Oh no.
These aren't my favorite quotes because I think they are monumental to the story.
Monumental.
I just think that they were funny. They just really stood out to me.
Jen, this story is about death and despair and poor children and children who don't understand that your $50-something could go towards your mother's medical bills instead of a pair of shoes.
Why do you think I watched the entire thing, Kim?
Yeah.
It's right up my alley. Okay. So my favorite...
Just show some respect is I guess what I'm saying. Show some respect for this very serious Oscar-snubbed film.
Okay. I totally will. So this one really moved me to tears. So they're sitting on the couch. I'll describe the scene. I'll place you into the scene. Just in case you were sleeping. So we're
damn. All right. I deserve all of this.
We're at, I don't remember her name. I think it's Rachel. Nathan's mom. And I don't remember her name.
You don't remember? You're getting on me for sleeping through the film, and you're like, I don't remember the title character's name.
Maggie. I'm sorry, Maggie. So
Okay,
Maggie and Jack, her husband, are sitting on the couch, and the doctor comes in, makes a house call, and is like, "Hey, your test results came back. It's not good," he says. And the quote he uses to describe what the test result says is, "Your heart's not pumping well. That's why you're having trouble breathing." And that's all he really said. And I stopped the movie and I said, "Hold on, what?" I said, "Can you repeat that for me, please?" "So your heart's not beating well, that's why you're having trouble breathing." As she goes and takes she goes, cough, cough. And I'm like,
scientifically it does track, but it's just a very odd way of saying that.
yeah,
it's like being like, your heart's not pumping, that's why we have to amputate your foot. Which, like, is technically correct, but it's just not the right way to portray that information.
Exactly.
Especially as a fucking doctor. Like, I'm sure this doctor has had plenty of experience telling people bad news.
Mm-hmm. Or does he?
Or if he... Well, does he?
We don't know. We didn't get any backstory. How old is this
doctor? How long has he been in practice?
A little bit older. But we get no backstory on anybody. We didn't even know she was sick because they never really went to the doctor.
Oh, we knew she was sick. Jen,
the song. Oh my God.
The song in the movie. If you... To be fair, the audience that would go see this movie would know the song. So I'm sure that they would come with that information.
It's what got me to the theater.
This is just me being like a devil's advocate. You do make a very good point, and I completely, genuinely do agree with you that it's something, if an important character is sick, you gotta establish that. You can't just be like,
yeah,
I'm a doctor, you don't breathe well.
Can I throw in an example?
Absolutely.
So, A Walk to Remember, a great movie. Like, oh, it's so good. We don't find out that she's sick until much later. And we don't really see any progression of her getting sick until after he's pretty much told her that she was sick. But I feel like that was the directive way to do it because they want them to kind of fall in love first. And then it hits. These people, they're not really in love. There's no really, drive for the family besides getting a puppy. They didn't really have... Like, obviously they were poor, but they didn't really show any hardships on them. Like, they lived in a big house, and, they had a vehicle, and he had a job. They both had... Well, she was, like, volunteering, I think. But, he had a job, so that we didn't see any visible hardships. So, we were like, oh, getting sick just felt, like, out of the blue, I guess. And I wish there was just a little bit more build-up. Like, maybe she woke up one day and, like, faints. Maybe she just faints, and then it leads to the doctor coming. Like, just a little bit more build-up on her being sick.
I think we could have had, like, a really ridiculous scene where she's playing catch with her son in the yard. She's got a baseball mitt, and she's throwing the ball back and forth. They're having cute little dialogue. That cute little dialogue could have established some stuff, whatever it be.
Yeah.
And then she could have had a moment where she turns and she coughs up blood into the baseball mitt, right? And then that's kind of the end where she's like, oh no, something's wrong.
Yes, something.
I feel like that would have been like perfectly like weird and cliche and kind of like, I think that could have fit the vibe of this movie. Not that I think that would have been a good scene, but that would have been a way for this movie to implement what they're going for. Be like, oh, look at this classic little mom and son bonding experience. They're playing ball, a classic American pastime. But oh no, she coughs up blood. Something's wrong.
Exactly, yeah. So I think if they had that kind of like telling point of being like, hey, there's something else going on here, I think we could have gotten on their side a little bit more. Besides it just being so out of the blue, and it hits so fast. It's like another thing I want to talk about. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that like I feel like everything was going so fast. It felt like this movie was over the course of like 5 days, maybe a week tops.
Yeah. Like
everything, boom, 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 and
remind me again. And I'm sorry, this is because I slept through so much of the movie. Remind me again what she died of. What her. Because
she had a some kind of heart disease.
Oh, so it was just like a generic heart. It wasn't like.
Yeah, I think they said exactly the term, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, okay, it was a heart disease. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. With my knowledge of hearts and diseases, that's fascinating.
Yeah, everything just happened so fast that I felt it was very hard to keep track of like what was going on.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, this is like kind of a major point for me personally with this film. It being an adaptation of, yes, the book, but largely the song, right? Mm-hmm. When we finally get to the point where this kid is talking to the older guy and they're in line, he wants to buy the Christmas shoes, the pinnacle moment, right?
Right.
The dialogue was so vastly different.
Yeah.
And on one hand, I do understand why, because the actual dialogue in the song is kind of like, what's a good word for it? The dialogue in the song itself is kind of old-timey and not realistic. No one would say those exact words, but you know, the words flow.
I mean,
better
I have it here.
Yeah.
If you want me to read them.
Would you mind? Would you
would
you give us a little piece of the song?
Sure.
And could you do it in like a really dramatic reading? Because I want to...
No.
I need to cry. Okay, fine. That's fine.
I can read it for you, though.
I really do appreciate this. I would like... Could you take it back for a second and could you do it in kind of like a Starbucks girl accent, please?
What's a Starbucks girl accent?
I'll leave that to you.
Welcome to Starbucks. Sir, can I please take your order?
Yeah.
What's a Starbucks girl?
That but heavier. Me, I'm a Starbucks girl.
Sir, I want to buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve, and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy said there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes would make her smile. I want her to look beautiful if Mama meets Jesus tonight.
That was incredible. That was exactly what I wanted. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm bowing. But yeah, no, here's my thing about that scene is I wanted to roundhouse that cashier. I wanted to go into the screen and just punch him in the nose.
Yeah.
Like, he was being so rude to that kid for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You're stressed. There's a lot going on. You have a line of, like, 85 people going out the building.
Right. And he's probably not getting paid enough. No one ever is.
Right. I totally get it. But he's a kid. And he's sobbing right in front of you. This kid's crying in front of you. Mm-hmm. And you just... Sorry, kid, you gotta go. You're $5 short.
Sorry,
I ain't
sorry,
playing
kid.
this.
Your mom can die ugly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think, like, really, that whole moment is just... It's like my issue with this song. It's like my issue with part of the movie. Kind of my issue with Christmas at large is it's become so commercialized and it's so, like, just a capitalist wet dream of bullshit. Yeah. And it's like... If you think about the reality of this story, real or not, whatever. If you think about this boy whose mom is dying, obviously the solution to all of that is to sort of help his mom out, to sort of help him emotionally. And I do understand how allowing him to purchase these shoes for her fulfills that, like, emotional
closure
thing, you know? Yeah, it gives him something positive to latch on to. It gives him that whole, oh, she's gonna look great for Jesus. Jesus is gonna be like, wow, girl, look at those shoes. It's gonna be a good moment, and it makes this kid feel better. Sure, but it's like, it's still very, I don't know, I don't get a good feeling about it.
Yeah.
It's like just letting this sad poor kid buy some shoes and move on is like not, it makes me feel icky.
Yeah. I think the thing is like, they try to develop it a little bit more with a kid because he wanted a puppy so bad. And that was, like, his driving force for the first part of the movie is that he wanted a puppy. And then when his mom started to digress in her health, he was like, oh, I'm going to save up money to get these shoes instead for my mom. So it's, like, him going from, like, selfish acts to being able to want to be, like, selfish for his mom before she passes. And I can, like, understand that to a degree, but I don't think it was fleshed out enough to really understand it.
So thank you for letting me know that, because that whole part of what you just said, I for sure fucking slept through. Like, that was the part of the film that I was like, what? That helps.
Yeah, so they had him, like, go and get get like pop cans for 5 cents everywhere. And the teacher, do you remember the teacher?
Nope. Fell asleep.
Okay, so the teacher, he was in it for a while. I think he was low-key dating Robert's mom. He's the neighbor of Robert. Dalton was his name, and he's played by Doran Hardwood.
Doran
sorry.
Hardwood? That's a real person's name?
Yeah. I don't know if I said that right,
Whoa.
but Harewood?
Oh.
Anyways, doesn't
okay.
really matter.
That's different. Harewood versus Hardwood. Like, if your last name was Hardwood, I mean, do I need to say anything else? That's a fun last name.
He wishes his name was that. So, the teacher got a bunch of pop cans, like 100 of them, and laid them around in the alleyway, for this kid to go get. But, like, low key, that teacher could have just gave him $20.
Oh, for sure.
Could have just
but
done
he's
it.
teaching
His
him
mom
the
is dying.
value of $1.
His mom is dying.
Yeah.
He could give him $20. He could have just did it.
I think this movie, this song, are equally bad. I don't think I could choose if you asked me right now. If I asked you right now, which one do you think was worse? Could you choose? I mean, and they're different mediums, so it's hard, right? Like, one is like
exactly
3.5 minutes of torture. The other one's like an hour and a half of torture. But like,
okay, so here's the thing. I would have said I liked the song better, like, without a doubt, but I hated the children singing in it. I hated it.
Yes! Child labor.
The multiple children. Exactly. Multiple children. I liked it when it was just the single boy at the end, because it makes sense, because that was him in the story. But when it was multiple children, it was like 5 children singing, I hated it. And that's when I was like, oh, I want to turn this off. I don't like it. But, yeah, no, I don't know which one I could choose. I think the movie had a higher budget, so I would say that one was probably worse.
That's true. But, you've got to also think, and now I'm just trying to make points to confuse you more, but you got to also keep in mind, you're probably only ever going to watch the movie once, maybe twice in your lifetime. The song will come around every Christmas at some point.
That's not true. That's not true.
Are you sure?
I have not heard that song in at least 10 years.
Are you fucking kidding me? No.
Yeah. My family likes that song too. Like, my aunt's always talking about it. But yeah, I have not heard that song in 5 years.
Okay, I'm really jealous
or 10
because
years,
for whatever
in
reason,
10 years.
every fucking year that song comes on for me at least once or twice, and I
really?
hate it every time.
Like on the radio?
Yeah, radio or like just in like a mall. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard it in a very long time.
Oh, all right. Well, now you will every time. You're welcome. I pass this curse on to you, and to everybody listening, I pass this curse on to you. You're welcome.
No. I have a question.
Go for it.
So it's more like a statement and then a question. So every time I watch a Christmas movie, my mission, my goal for the whole movie is to find out who's the secret Santa. Like, who is the Santa?
Who's the old man that you bumped into one time that said something wisdom
suspicious?
Yeah,
exactly. That's why I go to every time I watch a Christmas movie. Who do you think it was in this movie?
Robert.
Well, from what you remember,
Robert.
No.
And here's why. Here's why. And I didn't watch about half the movie because I was asleep. But I'm going to say that because, like, the entirety of the song, the entirety of the movie, it's all about, like, Robert is the one who gives the kid the rest of the money to buy the shoes, right? Or buys the shoes, or, whatever. Mm-hmm. But he's the one who completes that. So, is that not him giving a Christmas present to a deserving young child? Is that not something that is the makings of a Santa?
I feel like he is more like Scrooge. Like, he's selfish and he just really cares.
Scrooge turned Santa. Oh, what a great
is that the
fucking
lore?
movie
Is
idea.
that the actual lore?
Wait, no, but
Hold
like,
on.
what a great fucking idea. I mean, that's kind of like the Grinch, but also like not. It's like, wouldn't that be so fucking cool if you had a... Hang on, this is such a side note, but wouldn't that be so fucking cool if you had a movie where the main character was Scrooge, who became Santa Claus? Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, that's literally
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Tim Allen is quaking.
That's incredible. Everybody, go watch. If you're still listening, if you haven't already gone over to Jen's podcast, go watch the Santa Claus. Wow, I can't believe I really went through that whole thing and then
Anyway, so I think Santa in this movie was Wilson. That was the guy that called the tow truck for Robert and also owns the store that the shoes came from.
Is he an old white man?
He is he was like an older guy. I think he was bald. And yeah, he was an older white guy. I
think that tracks. I think Santa can be bald. I don't think we
normalize Santa being bald, okay? He wears that hat for a reason.
Yeah. Wait, does Santa have hair? Hold on.
Yeah, he's got hair.
Santa's hair, because he always wears a hat. What is he hiding under there? Is it a tiny rat that's pulling his every move? Pulling his every move. That's not the phrase. I'm getting completely off topic. Yeah, I think that's a really good thought of who the Santa of this movie could be.
It's gotta be it. I don't know who else it would be.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to know, this Google search resulted in various hairs of Santa.
Gross.
Some bald, some just a very receding hairline, and then some that have like kind of a weird long hair comb over situation. All of them are bad. None of them are good. You should Google this. I don't know why. This is fun. Anyways, back on topic. The Christmas shoes. So I did ask you today to come with or come with the knowledge of your favorite shoes. Do you have a favorite pair of shoes?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked. So I myself, personally, am not a shoe fanatic. I own like maybe 3 pairs of shoes for different seasons. I live in Michigan, so I experience all seasons here.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So I have like a winter boot, and then I have flip-flops, and then I have like tennis shoes. Me, myself, not a huge shoe kind of gal. I was researching a little bit about this, because, I don't have the knowledge of such items, but, why are there so many? Why are there so many different kinds of shoes?
There are so many different kinds of shoes.
I'm not talking brand. I'm talking, like, style. There's just so many. If I had to pick one, I would probably just go basic and go Converse. I personally like Converse. I just think they look wicked cool, and they are quite comfortable.
They're eternally wicked cool. They're one of those kinds of shoes you can wear, in the entire movie of the entire series of Back to the Future. You could wear Converse, and it fits everywhere.
Can I tell you a secret?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen any of the Back to the Future. Any of them.
How?
I just haven't.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
I've worked on the backlot area where some of that was filmed.
Oh, shoot. So are you in the movie?
I wish. I think the movie came out before I was alive, maybe? I don't know.
So you didn't go back into the future, back into the past to be in the future of that movie?
Not yet.
Why are we still talking?
I think, but that's the thing about the movie, The Christmas Shoes, is that it's such a non-entertaining film that it's easy to get off topic. It's easy to fall asleep during that movie and wake up and say, oh shit, I needed to pay attention to this for an actual podcast. It's easy to get off topic when talking about it because 1 star. I would rate this film 1 star.
Can we talk about how Grandma came to steal the show, though?
Sure. I don't remember that because I was probably asleep.
What?
I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry.
Okay, so basically they built up so much about the mom dying and, like, getting sicker, and then they went and had this concert that, of course, Rob didn't show up to, and they went, and the teacher guy was like, oh, don't leave your lights on all night, to the neighbor, who is Robert's mom, and Robert's mom's like, oh, I'm gonna sleep a little bit later, and then the teacher goes over there the next morning, and she's dead.
Oh, fuck.
She just, no build up on it or anything, she's just gone.
Hold on,
and
so
I'm
the kill count in this movie is 3, right?
3?
Because Rob's mom, that character, and the mom character,
yeah. Okay, so that's 2.
No. Wait, hold on.
Can you not count?
Maybe.
Who's the third?
I failed multivariable calculus, so...
It's definitely only 2, but we could make it 3.
We'll just say 3 for kicks.
Me. I'm the third by watching.
Yeah, the audience member. The audience member dies because, like we said, not a good movie, not fun. Didn't enjoy watching it. Fell asleep.
Yeah, that was the most shocking part of that movie, was the grandma dying, because I did not see it coming at all. I was baffled.
Yeah.
Bamboozled. Honestly.
Spooked. Shook. Taken for a ride.
On Santa's sleigh.
Yeah. You know what I do want to talk about for a second? The fact that not only is there a Christmas Shoes movie, which, not great, there are sequels, kind of. So there's a movie...
Like about Robert and Nathan?
Somewhat. So there's a movie called The Christmas Blessing. And I haven't seen it yet. It came out in 2005. Rob Lowe is also in it. Neil Patrick Harris is also in it. How?
They're gay?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm watching it right now.
I don't know if his character is gay in the movie though, because it looks like they made him intentionally overtly straight.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, it looks like they have a little bundle.
Yeah, the poster is like Rob Lowe looking off into the distance, Neil Patrick Harris, and this like white woman leaning against him, and then this like kid looking at Rob Lowe.
Oh my god. Isn't that what's his face? That kid. Isn't that what's his face from, oh my god, what movie am I thinking about? Hold on, I'm pulling up the
If you say Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we're not friends anymore.
No, it's definitely not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It definitely looks like Rob Lowe is longingly looking at Neil Patrick Harris to me.
Ooh, that'd be a lot more fun than what this film is probably about. Because it just seems like...
2.5 Men. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, is he actually from doing it? The kid in this movie?
Yeah, the kid is from 2.5 Men.
Wow.
Oh
How did they get so many?
I forgot about
Here's
that
my
show.
question. How did they get so many talented, high-ranking actors in a sequel to the movie about the Christmas shoes? A sequel that nobody watched to a movie that nobody watched. I'm sorry. I'm just ripping all over this film, but like if you enjoy this film, I do kind of apologize. You're totally welcome to enjoy this film. I just don't.
Yeah, it was not the vibe.
Definitely not the vibe. I do also have a couple of reviews I would like to read. Reviews on this film. But I do want to go back, though, and mention there are, like, sequels to this film. So, like we said earlier, there's, like, this book, too, right? There's the Christmas Shoes book that technically the movie is based off of. Mm-hmm. The book was sort of based off the song. The song was based off an urban legend. It's this whole mess. The book, The Christmas Shoes, written by Donna Van Leer, I believe I am trying to pronounce that. So she wrote the book, The Christmas Shoes. She has a bunch of other Christmas books. So there's Christmas Keepsakes, The Christmas Note, The Christmas Table, The Christmas Promise. It's all like the Christmas insert noun here. Mm-hmm. The Christmas Hope, like the Christmas Journey. It's a lot. Anything and everything. So she's got all of these Christmas books with like almost the same title. And then again, there's the Christmas Shoes movie, right? Mm-hmm. The Christmas Blessing movie. I think, aren't there other movies based off of her books? It just seems like a lot.
I mean,
too much, one would say.
If she's got it, she got it, you know? I mean, everybody's crazy about Christmas.
Everybody's crazy about Christmas. And Netflix recently has really fucking banked on that. Have you noticed?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really gone on Netflix in a while. But I can imagine. I've seen what Christmas has done to people.
Yeah.
People get a little too lit for Christmas, I think.
A little too lit for Christmas.
I don't know, I feel like that might be going away a little bit too as things are getting more and more expensive. And kids are getting older and they really just care about, like, you know, electronics and stuff. I feel like the spirit, oh god, we're getting to this part, but, you know, the spirit of Christmas, I feel like is so, like, it's just going away so fast, and I don't know if that's just because we're getting older, and in my family, we don't have a lot of kids in my family, so that might be why, but I feel like decade, maybe 2, I feel like Christmas just won't be either as big of a thing or as a thing anymore.
No, I completely agree. And I do think part of it is because we're getting older and because sort of the magic of Christmas slowly disappears the older that you get for several different reasons. But I think part of it is also just like inflation. I think inflation's causing a lot of it because, again, Christmas is so commercialized. Christmas is so centered around gift giving and gift getting, and it's always just gifts here and there and wrapping paper and bows and all this stuff. And not to sound ironically like the Grinch, but it's just like it's not cool, and it's hard enough to buy presents for like your immediate family and then buying presents for like other people. And yes, it's fun. Like, I do enjoy gift giving, and I do enjoy like sending things to people that I'm like, oh, you're gonna love this, I think this is gonna be cool, you're gonna get a kick out of it, whatever. I do think that is fun, but it's just when the culture of it becomes that you have to get everybody such an important big gift, and you have a lot of people in your life too, it's like it becomes this very heavy financial burden. And I know all of us, we have like a Christmas present budget, right? Even if you don't have a specific like Excel spreadsheet, going down the specifics of it, everybody has a certain amount of money that they're like, this is the most money that I can spend on Christmas presents for people this year.
Yeah, and then to bounce off that, and by the time that you get to the like Christmas Eve, like let's say you have your party and you're like, oh my god, I feel like I didn't get enough, you just go and overspend anyways, because then you're like, I don't have enough gifts, I have to go buy more gifts.
Yeah.
So then you set a budget, and then, I don't know, at least I always go over budget every year, because I'm like, I didn't get enough for everybody, I feel like they're going to get me more gifts, and then I'm going to feel bad because they're thinking, they think I don't think about them or something, like...
Right, yeah, and that's the whole pressure of it, right? Is that like you have to express, and I think that comes from the idea of Santa. The idea of Santa being like, if you're a good boy or girl or whatever, that you get presents and you get all these presents that make you happy. And I think that gets instilled to us the more we grow up, that like we're trying to reflect the value of our friends through these presents, and it's never gonna happen because like gift giving is great and all, but like at the end of the day, it's very materialistic. Like, Jen, you're one of my best friends. I've known you for, oh my god, how fucking long now?
At least a decade.
At least a decade, which is crazy. And like, I could never give you a gift that properly reflects how much I care about you and how cool I think you are and how much I value your friendship,
I think what you could do is give me some Christmas shoes, and then I would know.
Oh yeah, I mean, Christmas shoes, obviously, like a Starbucks gift card for sure.
I think that's how I'm gonna start judging my friends for Christmas, is that if they start being bad, I'm not giving them anything for Christmas, and if they're good, then I'll give them something for Christmas. We're gonna start bringing in this tell, because it's really pinching my pockets, okay?
This is gonna turn into like a reality show episode where you're just like, you're watching all of your friends open up your Christmas presents. And then Sarah opens up her, I don't know who Sarah is, but like a person named Sarah opens up hers, and there's like literally a lump of coal or something.
It would definitely be Lucy, but...
And she's like, oh my god, this is so funny, but where's my real present? And you're like, Sarah, this is your present. You were a fucking bitch this year.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. But terrible. That's what's wrong with how commercialized and stuff Christmas is. Again, it's like... very materialistic. It's not great. And I think that's just like, and it feeds into the fact that I think inflation is part of the reason why the magic of Christmas is diminishing, because the more that like we're all struggling to be able to fulfill this crazy gift giving pressure of it all, like the more that we struggle with that, the more that like it all falls apart,
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough. And sad. It's sad. And you know what else is sad? The Christmas Shoes song. Christmas Shoes song is sad. I would like to propose we award an award for the saddest song in pop culture. There's a lot of famous sad songs. Every time you hear them, your mood just fucking drops. The Christmas Shoes obviously is one of them. But there's a few more, right? So Jen and I have come together, and we are proposing to give an award for the saddest song in pop culture. So this is going to be the first Movie Theater Butter podcast award for the saddest song in pop culture. And the nominees are The Christmas Shoes by New Song, When She Loved Me by Sarah McLachlan, I'm Already There by Lone Star, and Jar of Hearts by Christina Perri. And the winner of this year's Movie Theater Butter Podcast award for saddest song in pop culture goes to Jen. You may do the honors.
So I would like to first say it's an honor. It's a great honor to be selected to choose this sad moment on the podcast. It fills me with joy. Anyways, I want to first say that I selected this one because art is subjective and music is art, meaning that music is subjective.
Can I quote you on that?
Yeah. So everyone has a different different personal background with each of these songs, and you get sad for specific reasons when you listen to them. So I might think it's one thing, you might think it's another, because of our different backgrounds and because of our different experience with it. Let's just say, for example, I don't like Toy Story.
Wow, we're learning new things today on the podcast. Wow.
I didn't really find that one sad. Yeah. So I, with my own personal background, am gonna say that I'm Already There by Lone Star is the saddest.
Wow. Okay.
Because that song is really sad to me, and I have a lot of like history with that song, and it just pulls from my childhood a lot. So when I think of it, I think of my childhood, and I get sad.
That's a really good point. Wow.
Thank you.
Your point is just this song makes me sad, and your point was backed up by like this really lovely monologue that can be summed up in your beautiful quote that I'm gonna requote right fucking now because I love it. Art is subjective, and music is art. Wow, incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Already There by Lone Star. That's another song that like. That's one of those songs
is that the outro?
Yeah, we're just gonna go out with I'm Already There. I wish. That'd be way too sad. And then nobody will listen to this podcast ever again. They'd be like, I'm just sad and I'm gonna go sit in a hole and die instead.
Can we talk about the saddest scene in the movie?
Yes. What do you think is the saddest scene in this movie, Jen?
So I thought the saddest scene was when she's laying in her deathbed. And Nathan's running around town trying to get money for the shoes instead of spending valuable time with his mother. And Jack is sitting at bedside, and she takes off her oxygen mask, and she's like, "Can we dance?" And he goes, "Of course," and then takes her out of the bed. She's all shriveled up and sunken in, and they just dance around the living room. Okay, that got me. It did. It was sad.
Yeah. That's pretty sad.
What was the saddest part for you, Kim?
The saddest part for me... Wow. The saddest part for me in this whole film is... I think the fact that Rob Lowe could have signed on to any other movie. And he signed on to this one? Which I don't think we'll ever fully understand his reasoning.
I'm sure this movie paid for, like, a car or a house or a trip.
Right. It probably did pay, like, his rent and some good dinners, that kind of thing, for sure. You know what? That's valid. I'm not gonna lie. That's valid. As I rant about capitalism, sometimes, guys, you gotta fucking sell out to pay the bills. Sorry. I do have a couple of reviews on this film.
Oh, yes.
By random people. There's just a few that I chose from the plethora of reviews of this film that I wanted to share with you today because I think they're pretty good. So Karl Marx says, Karl Marx says, Ross Lynch was the star of this movie. His portrayal of both the dying mother and Jesus was a never-before-seen cinematic masterpiece. I personally believe Christmas is a sham, but this movie made me realize the existence of Santa Claus. Claus spelled with an E.
He's been hanging out with Tim Allen.
My ears are now being penetrated by the sleigh bells. Clink, clink. Rob Lowe is the cherry on top. I qualify him as the only man I would let touch me. I can't wait for the 4th of July to watch this cult classic again. Absolute vibes. Yeah, that was pretty solid.
Okay.
If I saw that review of a movie and I knew nothing else about the movie, I would watch that movie.
Yeah, you got me at Ross Lynch.
Yeah.
You said that, and I was like, I'm in.
Ross
Let's go.
Lynch, done. Sold. So, Oakley Patrici says, very Gucci, good characters make you cry. I died of laughter at the sad moments. That's it. That's the review.
Oh, okay. Vibes.
And last but not least, Samantha M. Samantha M gives this movie 1 star out of 5. And her reasoning is, low quality movie, unclear message, not enough Christmas entertainment or Christmas shoes. Depressing. Yeah, Samantha, I agree.
Oh, Samantha.
Yeah. There was also, I went to Rotten Tomatoes for just the briefest of moments. There was a single critic review on this. I don't remember what it was said. It wasn't funny. I didn't want to share it, but like, it was obviously bad. And I was like, damn, Rotten Tomatoes only gave this person like, there was only 1 review for this movie? That's fucking sad. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to share about this movie. I think I've shared my thoughts, which I should have had more. I should have fully watched the movie. And for that, I will always apologize. I do apologize. But I do think it's important, as I'm learning more in life, I think it's important to be real. You know, like the app Be Real. I think it's important to be real. And I'm being real with all of you, and you, Jen, especially, by saying openly that, yes, I fell asleep during this movie. And no, I didn't watch it enough. Mostly.
Kim, as we've already discovered, I've known you for a decade. I went into this fully expecting you not to finish the movie. So that's why I finished it.
Thank you. Our friendship started on a magic trick, which was a total sham. And I remember that magic trick distinctly. And I think I could still pull it off on you today, because I don't think I ever told you how I did it.
You can.
Did I?
I don't know. It's been so long.
It's been 10 years.
But yes, perfect. If you would like to reveal the end, maybe when I'm on my deathbed, you could give me the end, or how the card trick works.
Oh my god, but wouldn't that be so funny if you were like on your deathbed? It wouldn't be funny if you were on your deathbed, but wouldn't it be fun? Sorry. But
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Kim.
But wouldn't fictionally speaking, I think it would be funny if you were on your deathbed and I was trying to show you. Bear with me here. And I was trying to show you how I did this magic trick, but you died before I could finish. So the magic lives on.
No, don't say it that way. Don't say it that way.
It's like your last breath. You're like, but how did you? And then you just like die. And then you never know.
Well, Jesus will have to tell me.
And then I do that thing where like your eyes are still open, so I like put my fingers and I like close your eyelids.
With 2 cards.
I close your eyelids with 2 cards. And I say, the good magician never reveals her secrets.
And then you've killed me. It's actually you that killed me.
It was poison. I put this little tiny vial of like empty tiny vial in my pocket.
Oh god. Okay. Anyway.
Anyways,
yeah, I have nothing else.
Thank you for being on this podcast. I really appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with me on this podcast. I really appreciate it.
Of course. It's nice to be on this end every once in a while.
If you guys didn't know, if I hadn't said it already several times in this podcast, Jen is the host of her very own podcast. It's called The Bookstop. Please go check it out. It's really good. I am on there a couple of times.
I would say a few times. We did do a Twilight episode.
We did the Twilight episode.
Freaking hilarious, yeah.
Which was incredible. And honestly, I do think that would be like a perfect follow-up to this episode. So if you're listening to this, if you want to listen to us talk more, go listen to Twilight. It's fun.
It's fun. And then you're going to be on it next year, too. My first episode.
Yeah. I think I'm most excited to talk about this story called Wish Out of Water.
So I'm excited to dive in and swim around,
Wow. And on that note, that's enough for today. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Happy holidays. Everyone be safe. Drive safe.
And happy holidays to you too, Jen.
And don't forget your shoes.
Don't forget your shoes. Well, it sounds like that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to Movie Theater Butter, a Till Kim Productions podcast, edited by Kevin Matthew Keeling of Take the World. If you have a free moment, we'd really appreciate if you like or follow the podcast from wherever you're listening. It'll really help us grow our audience and be able to continue making episodes for you guys. You can also follow us on Instagram for monthly episode schedules, extra content, and even surprise video episodes. All right, I'm done. See you next episode.